Previously on Tessie Teams.
As certainty drawn collapses against Walnut Dawngrass, they are pushed back. They are not in your field of view at all. When you open your door one morning, there is a small tray with an arrangement of sort of small hand pies on it. And there is a little note at the bottom that says, "Test pies."
Damn it, it's my turn, huh?
You thought it was going to be a lot worse. And you think that you're going to survive. The next thing you know, you are in your bed. And you can see the ceiling threatening to, but never fully tilting. For seconds, you can see that glint expanding into something that looks like a sail made of like a crinkling silver material. 3 incredibly tall, malevolent knights of some strange designation. The 2 on the sides are fired from it with the residual momentum like bullets. I need initiative rolls.
Dieth, without hesitation, pulls out Gutter and spins to his left in such a way that basically comes around to put it into the side of one of them. I go, see what I did to your friend?
Right?
You knocked that shit off.
Strix is near your bed, and that's the first thing you see when you look up.
Time is the enemy, the past, it threatens the fastest weapon. You wouldn't make it past a second, and that's the question. Play it brash and reckless, or choose a cautious solution you thought was prudent. In any sepulcher, pulchritude will become the putrid. It's that wealth that I'm pursuing. No mountain too steep or dungeon too deep to send expendable marks up to the top of the peak or beneath. They see you bleed, they come like sharks to it, while I swim in that money bin like Carl Barks drew it. So send your national parks druid, I'll send him home in a natural box with a closed top and most of the parts included. Save your breath for a cleric confessor. Death is a lesson and life is a tenured professor. But if you're seeking my official advice, sign on the dotted line and initial it twice.
Hold on.
How are you gonna say that and then
The
start?
last 5 minutes have
the
been
deck.
incredibly intense here. Hello, I am Tycho Brahe of Penny Arcade and PAX. I am also Alminifus Hereward Drawn, CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated. But today, I'm your internet friend, Jeffrey K. Horcrims. And I'm here to run a game of Dungeons & Dragons for my friends. To my right, Dragonborn Narcissist, Dinar Blitz, and No Pause. 420 No Scope.
Nice. Do you have it written down?
Yes,
Nice.
it's circled.
Yeah.
To the right of my right, repping the natural world, Walnut Dawngrass Kakra.
That's me. What's this? Oh no, that's beautiful.
Kakra.
Those thermals.
Yeah, exactly. You never have to come down. It's
I
like
think better than me.
Stop it.
yeah.
There you go.
Don't add value. It's not done. To my left, not your grandma's grandma, except in those rare cases where she is your grandma's grandma, Rosie Beestinger.
Whoa, it's me! Look at me go!
Yay!
Yeah! It's
Yeah!
today it's pink Himalayan salt.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Up market.
That's classy.
Nice.
Upscale establishment.
Trying to watch my blood pressure, so.
Yeah, watch out. We first of all, before we continue, we have to get you. There has to be an emoji for you, like an emote. right? Like there has to
I
be
mean,
like
There's a juice.
Yeah, there's juiced if you're a D&D subscriber.
for sure, but I mean, there has to be one that you can get that I can see. I want to see a bunch of them coming up when you
make
start
one
doing
then.
this.
It's your
Can they do
goddamn
conversation we
channel.
can have not on the while the cameras are running here.
Ooh, somebody just did salt. Yeah.
We'll do it
Yeah,
later.
salt works.
We'll do it later.
Salt.
To the left of my left,
Seasoning. Hey.
emerging. Ooh, some tentacles. Emerging as though from a mist shroud. Cthulhu Drow.
What? When did you get here, you old so-and-so?
Oh.
Come on. Bring it in.
So is your old man.
All right, now.
You old honey dripper.
I need to hear this. Oh,
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I'll hook you up.
Thank you.
So hold on. Are you trying to tell me that you did not stay up
no, I did.
in the
She
middle of the night? Oh, you
definitely
did.
did.
She was messaging me about my shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
But let's pretend.
no. But when was it? Like, what time was it?
It was a 12-hour difference.
Okay,
Isn't it? 4 a.m.?
but I'm not. Oh my gosh, you just
4
I
a.m.?
did that in my head. It was early in the morning. It was like
4 a.m. is early in the
5
morning.
a.m. or something.
It's a lot.
I don't know.
5 a.m. is later than 4. There's a lot of confusion here.
What time?
Things are
What
different
is
in
time?
Japan.
Time is the enemy.
5 is too
Time
much
is
than
the
4.
enemy. Yeah.
Okay,
What happened?
walnut donggrass,
Catch me up.
heir to the EPA. Now, let me give you the basics.
Okay.
When last we saw our heroes, via strange, mystical mechanisms having to do with the attack on Acquisitions Incorporated's headquarters in Waterdeep. Indeed. And there's much to rue. Ultimately, what we learned was that cartography is fucked up in some fundamental way. The network that establishes and empowers job roles like documancy and hordes personery, for lack of a better term, they're goofed. They're goofed 6 ways from Sunday, and even an attempt by Rosie Beestinger to communicate the cart along the ancient paths we have used literally for 2 seasons. It was unable to do so. And even the cart itself began to materialize within a strange, possibly moist jellyfish. Let's say Metroid, for lack of a better term.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's go Metroid. It's like in the same way that one can have like business in the front and party in the back.
Sure.
Imagine that there's a Metroid in front and then an infinite tendril in the back.
So like a suit.
Which in this case is the boss.
Shoot the blaster.
Yeah, basically.
Wait, in this case is a what now?
Turn into
That's
a ball.
Metroid.
Wait,
Yeah, Metroid.
Oh, I thought you said a bomb.
Metroid runs. Metroid turns into a little ball, and then she drops the
her
bomb.
name is not Metroid. Listen,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about this later. That's not...
I think she's
gonna-
Metroid.
You want to stop.
I think he's Metroid. Yeah. It's like he's like the Legend of Zelda. He's Zelda.
Zelda, yeah.
Dude, I-
His legend.
I want someone to look it up fast. Is choking one of your players to death against the TOS. Is that something that you can
Like
lose
in
your...
an edging capacity.
Like, I'm not saying
To
you'd be...
death?
I'm not saying you'd be kicked off the platform, but
There
would
are
you
other
lose...
repercussions.
Would you lose partner status?
Maybe.
For snuff? I don't think they have anything in the contract.
Loophole. Bring that trachea over here.
No,
So,
if a 20 is rolled, that's the prize.
Yeet that ass over here.
all right, it's like this. What happened is Death Woodrow, who you may remember from Dice Camera Action, aka the Waffle Crew.
A good boy.
Love him.
Indeed, a premium young man, an upmarket fellow.
Yeah, where's that boy? Bring that boy out here.
No, he's not here.
Is he over there? No.
He's not here. He's not here anymore.
I like that boy.
Boy?
Wait, no, it's
He's a good boy.
No, it's
Yeah.
he's not here at all. Cthulhu discovered him somewhere inside this creature that houses the bag network itself,
Okay.
Strange.
tethered by a silver cord, because Mr. Woodrow arrived here in the astral plane where this creature makes its home via a slightly novel methodology that one would have to watch the episode to truly appreciate.
Sure.
Ultimately, our gathered friends were together They fought off a Githyanki incursion.
Lots.
Howdy, y'all.
Now we know
Lots.
what they were.
Yeah.
We didn't get
Yeah.
a name.
Call it
Indeed.
macaroni.
Right? The creature itself has made a kind of hasty bandage suture scenario from the silvery sail of the Githyanki vessel. And that is authentically where we set our scene. Now, of
You
course,
sure did leave out a
well,
really important part.
The important part is that only Dinar ever asked where Walnut was.
Really?
Yeah. Check the tape.
the tail of the tape.
Look at both of them with their face.
Yeah. Check it.
For the podcast, they're making a face.
Making a sour face.
Yeah, dubious.
No, but it's all right because we are going to manage all of that right here
Tell me what Walnut got up to.
in real time.
What did Walnut do?
On this episode of Tessie Teams. So isn't that what did Walnut do? We will indeed cover the topic.
Okay.
Are we going to do it right
know.
now?
Oh, yeah, we're going to do it
Wanna
live,
know.
as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
We're going to do
Okay.
it live, as they say.
I'm in the bag.
Are we doing it now, though?
This is a flashback.
Flashback,
I'm
you're
in
in
the
the
bag. Well, Walnut is with who? You set it up.
Chris, I'll handle it.
Yeah.
She saw certainty. Certainty drawn.
Right.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
they were
He
just
can't be
separated.
trusted with this.
Nine
All right.
months.
Yeah. And here, give him the screen. Come on. What are you doing?
And now you're getting in there.
Now this is giving us guff.
Yeah.
We're just excited.
You deserve a thank you, Alyssa. Thank you for trying to tame these beasts.
No, give him the screen. Look, he's got stuff he needs to say. Just let him get it out.
Give me the conch.
All right. Now,
Places. See what happens.
Walnut,
Yes.
what a pleasure it is to have you back at the table. Now,
Who's Amy?
indeed. But no one, you just fucking check your mouth.
work.
So, when last we saw our hero, she had very, very recently been collapsed upon by certainty drawn. Sort of like looking around wildly with an unfocused eye, hands bloody up to the middle of the arm. She has collapsed on you in this sort of endless maze that you've discovered inside this pouch. And she is even now in the process of screaming at the top of her lungs for help while she tries and fails to find purchase on your person.
Okay, great. Well, first thing I do is I'm scared that she's dying, so I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on her.
Absolutely.
Which
You got dice for that?
which I just do it.
Bam!
And wow, that stinks on ice.
Is this from the fishing village?
I got a 7.
7. It works. That's good. If you obviously you seize the energy to resolve the injury, but you're not sure if this is her blood even.
Oh.
Like you were casting this while she is basically almost knocking you over. Like her desperation to find some kind of support is evident.
I grab her by the shoulders. And I say, certainty.
All right.
I'm here.
Yeah, she places both of her hands on the front and is just trying to see with them, basically, just trying to determine who it is. Your face is even dirtier than it is canonically.
Great. She loves it. All battle smeared.
It's a huge plus. We're getting to some Mononoke type activity.
Finally.
Was that too much?
No, that's exactly
Is that the correct amount?
what I wanted the whole time.
Right. She's hyperventilating still.
I say, certainty, what happened? What happened to you?
She says, it started when, and then you see a hand reach around from behind her neck and a shape emerge from the sort of infinite dark maze of this place. And behind her, and just to the left of her head, you can see the glint of a silver mask.
No! I immediately pull out my sword and try and get around there. I'm like, immediately I want to stab something and protect her.
Okay, perfect. So basically, she is against you. So all three of you are together in what's got to be like less than 4 horizontal feet.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that. I want to like grab it and like take her and
Absolutely
try and stab around.
So you're going to try to seize certainty and then stab.
Yeah.
Right.
And then give it a slash.
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay.
Jeez.
Bloop bloop. This big one. Oh, but I have a +8 to hit.
That's pretty good.
17.
17. It's perfect. So you bring Foremother glints in the darkness. Go ahead, please.
7.
And you see Brahma's arm
Oh, well, shit.
raise up.
I thought it was a different one.
Could have been.
But yeah, this is how it should.
I thought it was someone from Drawn Enterprise.
This is how it should be. This is how it should be. But without any physical response at all. Just like takes a sword in the forearm.
Okay.
And just she tilts her head behind Certainty and then puts her other arm around Certainty.
Okay, I wild shape into a spider.
Oh, this is great. Okay, please continue.
Okay, I wild shape into a spider, and using the power of D&D Beyond. Oh, did I not put it in my creatures?
It's never been easier.
You too could be a spider
She is now spidered.
with D&D Beyond.
Well, I was just gonna say it's like blinded, charmed, spidered. It's just a condition, and the condition
I've
means
been dird.
the condition means, among other things, that you have more legs. It's like +6 legs,
It is.
right?
Mechanically.
All right, and I want to, I jump at Brahma, and I start using my 8 legs to try and pry the mask off.
Dude, that is amazing. So,
Horrifying.
So
What sort of noise do you make?
So certainty sort of falls away, and penitent is basically trying to keep out of the way of these of this hairy assault. So you are. So it's like the spiders, and they have those like little hooks at the end
Oh, yeah.
of the
Yes.
spider foot.
Oh, the hook spider.
Yes.
Classic spider foot.
And you were trying to pull the mask. You're trying to pull the mask off,
Yes.
and the head. The body is like a doll's body.
Disgusting.
Like the head just moves like almost limp along with it.
Okay. It's not coming off.
No,
The vertebrae are.
Okay.
they're coming right out. No, it's some Mortal Kombat shit. Like the whole thing comes out in one piece.
All right. Gross. Okay. So then I'm gonna just try and, which I do. 21. I web her, and she is restrained by my webbing.
Nice. Okay, so you can see in there, just in a piece, the Warloot and her just entirely wrapped from head to toe in the webbing. And then a second later, the webbing collapses and she's out. and she looks down at her arm and says, "Is this not an opponent?"
Oh man. Can she hear me telepathically?
Yeah.
Great. So I think at her real hard. No.
Just like in real life.
I say, what do you want with certainty?
To keep her from harming you.
She's not going to harm me
How do you know that?
because she has always helped me.
And certainty is even now like trying to find your leg. And she finds like the edge of your boot and is like pulling herself like up.
My spider boot?
Yeah, sorry, your leg. No, she'll touch the leg and then recoil.
Okay.
And like shimmy, like scoot back against the wall that appears too soon.
Yeah, I back up and I'm like protecting her with all of my legs, and I'm sure she hates it, but it's there.
What's she gonna do about it?
Yeah, what's she gonna do about it? And I say, unless she tries to hurt me, there's nothing to be done. You don't need to do this.
Okay. She withdraws a needle and a fine silver thread, and looks over in your direction, and returns the thought acceptable.
Okay.
And begins to stitch up her left forearm.
Well, then I turn back into myself, and I stop scaring certainty, I guess.
Yeah.
And I
She's terrified.
No,
she's terrified.
That's the number of the fucking beast.
Oh no! The number of my beast. It is.
That was a 6 for the podcast.
It was a 6. The number of the beast.
Everybody knows which number is the number of the beast.
Do they?
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Only a 6 by itself? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. If you roll a 666 on a d20, you know there's some fucking shit going on. You know what I mean?
So I turn back to certainty and I say really calmly, I say, certainty, you have to tell me what
And
happened.
she's just like looking around. The quality of the
Okay.
sound in this place is very muffled. It's almost it's incredibly flat, like a recording booth almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like the walls and floor absorb. There's no echo of any kind. It doesn't seem like a real place at all.
Can she, if I get close to her and whisper in her ear, like that,
Yeah.
like this,
Get right up in there.
does it do anything?
Oh no, absolutely. It's just an odd.
It's just odd.
Exactly.
Okay. I see. I understand. So I'm just trying to get her to tell me anything.
And she says, "Walnut?
Yes, it's me.
How?"
We went through the horde's-person bag.
She says, "Many of us tried to escape through the bag network, but it started to fail. It started sending people back."
Not us. We came willingly. Not that I know.
Yeah. She leans forward and sort of like tries to like climb up with your support. Mm-hmm. And Penitent is just watching a few feet away.
Yeah.
Arms folded. Certainty definitely seems like she's been through a lot. You think that she might require some
Additional.
some coaxing, just
Oh, okay.
something to ease out of this shock state.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I mean, the only thing I have is like actual healing, so I could do that. I already did a little bit of it. You know, I'm just gonna grab her around the shoulder and
Like have her hand.
yeah, like these.
Use your prop today?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the more Ryan we can work in, the better.
And just try and soothe her and say, certainty, I'm here to help.
Yeah. She says, "It was Oak."
I'm not. It was Oak.
She says it was Oak and Doldrama somehow.
I have a knowing look on my face,
Yeah,
but I don't say anything.
And she can't see it anyway.
Yeah.
So she says, Doldroma seemed, obviously we'd been missing her for weeks. Mm-hmm. And when she returned to the headquarters, she seemed confused, almost sleepwalking into the courtyard. And then she says, and then she started to burn. Like, and she's looking down, and you can tell that she is seeing it now.
Yeah.
just like she was still there.
I say Duldrama was under the influence of something called the Six.
No, she nods gently.
And I say, what about everyone else?
She says, we would have to go back to know, but all the easy ways of getting back are gone.
Then what's the hard way?
She says we have to use the failsafe.
I hesitate to ask, what's the failsafe?
She says, well, in case something catastrophic like this happens, Dad taught this creature to leave everything that it has in a specific place.
Okay.
He didn't tell me where it was, but he said it would be safe.
And we don't know where it is.
He wouldn't tell me. 3 guesses. Why? And there's a tear falls out of her left eye. She says, I don't know if he's okay. She says, Jim has been gone for months, and my father has been listless for just as long. He hasn't been himself.
That wizard. And I say, well, we have to find him. We need to find this failsafe. Can you remember any kind of clue he might have given you?
No, I think I know how to do it. I just don't know what will happen when I do.
Oh. Well, we'll have to worry about that later.
All right. And then she pats on her belt a couple times, slips the cover of a pouch off, and reaches inside, and she pats something and seems to visibly relax.
Okay.
She withdraws her hand, and then she puts her left hand on one of the walls, and then she reaches out with another hand and tries to find another wall.
Okay.
She closes her eyes and then begins to sing. Now, I know the melody. It's not
song time.
Yeah, I'll explain what the melody is later. But this
Okay.
is the melody. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You might recognize it. And when she does that,
Bee Gees.
yeah. Bop. Yeah. Shoot, dop, bop. DB, dob, dob, bop. No. And then she pulls her hands away, like surprised from the walls, and she's like, I thought for sure that would. And a second later, you are falling, but not for long.
Okay.
You're falling about 10 feet.
Ouch.
But you're falling on a mound of what looks like horseperson bags.
Okay.
Random detritus, like that. Like it looks like it's a pile of horseperson's bags and the sorts of things that would be inside horseperson's bags.
Great.
Right? And as you do this, Cathris, Dinar, and Rosie all experience much the same sensation, except you have the additional weight of Coriander, who lands on her feet perfectly, just like a statue, just like dropped, and is now on a dais for display, and the cart also lands, snapping the rear axle clean in half on the drop.
Dang it.
There's a sort of cool early spring wind blowing in, and the scent is familiar.
Okay.
You're in what looks to be almost like a bowl-shaped area. Something like it would be like in any other context, it would be like an arena, but it seems to be a quarry, or maybe not an operational quarry, but was once a working quarry.
Okay. And is everyone with me?
Yeah, everyone is all together now,
Including Brahma.
Yeah, indeed,
Certainty.
including penitent,
Penitent.
and certainty.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay. And as soon as I see the gang and I'm like stumbling out of these bags.
yeah, exactly. Like, I will allow the party to choose which one pops hilariously from a pile of bags.
I think it's the nut.
Pop up and I go, we gotta find Omen.
How long has it been canonically in world since we last saw Walnut? Since she disappeared.
Oh my god.
20 years.
The world has changed.
No, while you were putting together your stuff, engaging in this battle out front, chasing Dearth Woodrow around, these things are roughly equivalent time spaces.
Okay.
Okay.
It's only a minute.
So you noticed I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dinar knows.
They were separated you from. Well, yeah, Dinar is aware.
Right.
Oh man.
If no, even if no one else is.
You weren't missing long enough for us to call the cops.
Oh.
Well, they get mad at you if it's not 24 hours. So
Yeah.
I'm about to call the cops. We gotta find Omen.
There she is. What do you mean we gotta find her?
Still yelling into a bag. I hear her, guys. I hear her. Walnut, are you there? I hear you.
I think she's coming out.
Yeah. I think I got her, guys.
I don't tap you or anything.
I think
I'm
I
just
got
like,
her.
oh, there she is. I just let you continue in the horse person bag.
I'm like helping Certainty up, and then I say, we gotta find Omen.
She says we have to find Omen.
Where is this? You're translating?
Yeah, he thinks he hears her.
I yank it off your head. I jump up, I take it off your head.
Chris, no. No.
It was my bag, right?
That's true.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Just off to it's disorienting, obviously surrounded by heaps and heaps. Like you were not aware that there were this many official teams.
Yeah.
Like 26 letters in the alphabet.
There is it gets to like A1 and then it is.
That's the
Yeah,
XXX
that's
team.
that good steak sauce team.
Huh?
Yeah, where does the Excel spreadsheet die? It's like SS. I think it's the last, it's before it's like, nah, you're done.
It just begins to cough. You should have made a new tab a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's what it's trying to tell you when it eats your data. So you can tell as soon as you pop out and begin at least mentally constructing serious plans.
Yes.
The familiar scent it's pretty plain to see where it is as you bodily lift yourself out of this like cluster of sacks, for lack of a better term, to the northwest. You can see a encroaching forest of red larch trees.
Right.
And even nearby, you can see the sleepy town of Red Larch in the Desrin Valley.
Exclusive license.
The exclusive license. You know how it is.
I do.
Going about its work.
So are we in the Crick Garden?
No, you
crater?
are
Different
in
crater.
the quarry where they hold
Last
Stone's
Doomsday.
Day.
Right.
Cake
okay.
in the hole.
Yeah.
Cake hole.
Cake hole. That's what we call it.
Yeah. Okay.
Have we traveled through time as well? Is it Last Stone's Day?
Cake hole.
I just wait for cake. I open my mouth.
That's the time travel
throw
version
cake
in this
in,
game. So
but there's-
we eat the cake.
I
Each
grab,
one of us caught a
I have cake. And I throw it in your mouth.
Nope. It's like
Do you have cake in your
incredible.
inventory?
No.
Old cake.
Come on,
You
guys.
throw something in
Probably.
my
I find
mouth.
a rock that looks like cake. I throw it in his mouth.
All right.
Wow.
You swallow it.
Eat up.
Must be the future. That kick is hard as a rock. It's miserable. No, I actually am. So like after taking note that this is Red Larch, I am now idly putting other Horde's person bags into my bag just to see if they fall out here again.
Oh.
Your bag does not appear to be functioning like a Horde's person's bag anymore.
Just a pedestrian bag.
No, indeed, most of them, the closer you start to look at them, they seem frayed with wear. And your own bag has a look that's distinct even among the rest. It's beginning to take on a translucency, like its shape, like whatever it was pretending to be, it's either stopped pretending or it is becoming something else.
Oh, but I don't get. Do I get the sense that my bag is reactive? Like, does it seem alive still? Or is it just?
Yeah, if you can coax it out. I mean, most of the time it's pretty lethargic, right? It's like a cat. It's like an even lazier cat.
You're right.
For the most part, unless you're giving it stuff. You really have to engage with this thing to get evidence of that. And the rest of the bags just seem like bags now.
This is very bad news for a business.
I think I'd be glad to see Walnut's back, but very confused that we teleported somehow, right? Because where would we end? We had just had the battle.
Right. We were still in jellyfish.
We were just sitting on top of a jellyfish.
You were on the
5
porch.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I will say, what shape? When I see Certainty, what shape is she in?
Spider.
No, Certainty, not one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, not spider. There's no spider thing. She is.
God.
It's not a part of it.
Are you sure, guys?
It's not connected to any of this.
Let's get a replay.
Yeah.
I was listening pretty close.
No.
I don't know. Yeah.
I got kind of a spider vibe. There's a pet of help. No, so she is sitting on sort of like a
Tough.
no. It's not all spider shit, okay? No. So there is the heap of bags is sort of like flowing down now. It's just it's lackadaisical, really. And she is sort of sitting on what might be considered a porch of the larger bag structure. She's just sort of seated at the edge with her arms around her knees, just sort of like looking around, listening to conversations.
Okay. So I would then say like, Walnut, did Certainty bring us all here?
Yes, she activated something called the failsafe, and she didn't know what it would do, but this is what it did.
And she says, "What did it do?
Let's say,
We're not dead. That seems like all things considered, that seems like a plus. Well, I don't know.
we're in Red Larch with all the Horde's person bags.
The great beast that was the office supplies of Acquisitions Incorporated has vomited the contents of the building in the quarry at Red Larch.
Accurate.
She shakes her head. She says, I don't see how this helps. I really thought that failsafe was going to give us the tools we needed to succeed. It's not even, if you're going to go to Red Larch, it should be late summer.
Yeah.
That's really the time to go.
Well, your grandma is here.
Yeah, that would be wise. She may have sustained a head wound of some kind, a blunt trauma. I'm not sure what the seasons have to do with it.
Yeah.
They're important in some ways,
Well,
as we well know.
we know that this is the Wandering Crypt schedule, right? Like we already figured this out. So maybe that's her point, is that Omen was storing this stuff in the crypt. And so if you wanted to dump a bunch of Horde's person bags at a particular time of year, you'd do it when the crypt was here.
That's true. It's like all of the
Let me
gear.
find my map.
It might also be connected to cornerstones.
Sentimental. I mean, yeah.
Sure.
grew up here, right? There's a sentimentality as
We
well.
go right to crypt. We're like, no, it has to do with the crypt. The crypt.
It has to do with a savory treat from Owen's childhood.
And she's like, we need to get. She says, it's possible that there's still something in the B team's bag.
We need to find the B team's bag.
And she just like waves behind her and then like pats a few bags and says, yeah.
It's going to be like trying to find a bag in a pile of bags.
I get that reference.
Well,
Certainty says, is that a saying?
of course it is. I'm 120 years old. I don't say anything that's not a saying. Let's just roll up our sleeves and get to work here, folks.
Have we seen the B team's bag before? Did they have we've met the B team before. Did they have
Smell like them.
Did they have any distinct markings that
It wasn't
make it
anything.
known?
It wasn't anything in particular, but there may be a way to
He's
sniff it
trying to
out.
locate object.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Like yours looks apparently
Weird.
special.
Yeah.
It has,
Where am I?
plot armor. Does B team have plot armor?
Their bag is so awesome.
Yeah.
You can't believe
A
it.
big old B on it, maybe?
What's something that the B team would put in their horseperson bag? Maybe the omen's or not omen oak's ring,
Yeah.
Interesting.
right? Like
Oak's ring.
what's a thing that the B team would have?
And his daggers, but he would probably have them on him.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would store.
I mean, I could sniff out that horrible.
That's true. You can
horrible
sniff
do
it
a
out
sniff.
too.
That's
You
what
can
I was
do a
thinking.
sniff.
Yeah.
God, you hate
Yeah, I
that
was going to
smell.
locate object, but
Could you invert locate objects so you find something that's not a bag? Because all these bags are empty, except for maybe the thing that's in.
Can you search for the absence of something?
Yeah,
you
the
want to
anti-
turn the parentheses inside out.
That's exactly right. You would.
a set within a set. A set outside of
It's from
itself?
a
A set outside of itself.
Table Talk. It's from a Superman
Cannot
comic. He's like he's looking for like Joker's bombs throughout the city, and he finds them right away. He's like, "How did you find them?" He says, "Because I looked for 3 things I couldn't see through. They were lead lined. There, and there. The end."
Incredible.
I'm going home.
Yeah, I did it.
So I guess I sure hate to blow all my wild shape within the first 20 minutes.
Just sleep on a pile of bags.
Sleep on a pile of bags.
Curl up.
So I turn into a wolf. Howoo.
Howoo.
And I want to do a sniffy perception roll, which I get advantage on. And
Wow.
that is a
15.
That is a good.
24
Nice.
and a not 24. I'll take the 24.
Keep it solid.
So you are giving it an ultra sniff, and for more recently, of course, you have met this Oak True Strike. Mm-hmm. You know, over the past year, certainly in contention for the wildcard license, or someone like Oak, but this doesn't smell like that oak. There's something about it. This smells like the oak you met first.
Oh, my haunches raise up,
Thank you.
and I start growling, and I don't even recognize that I'm doing it. It just happens.
Oh no, it's just like you would have to consciously recognize that you were doing it to stop it.
Yes.
Yep, she found him.
And it's just you have oak vision, essentially. Like there's this massive heap, and you know exactly. But please give us the visual image we need of this of wolf nut.
It's that Baby Haku video.
It's a Baby Haku video. Yeah, with the digging.
The digging.
No, it's like in Princess Mononoke when she has her head cut off and she's like weaseling through the gook. Or like a dog digging, whatever you want.
Right.
Either picture, if you're not familiar with that movie. I stick my snoot in and I just
Just find it.
weasel my way in there, and I find it with my mouth, and I grab it, and I
And just drag it out.
and I give it a shake.
Yeah. A couple big ones.
I can't help it. I just
Gotta break its neck.
It's like that prey instinct. And then I back out and bring it to the group.
And grab it. and you won't let go.
Yeah, instinctively, my jaw locks.
Come on, you start tug of warring. Come on. So, as Wolfnut sort of backs out, bag in craw, the sort of like the negative space of the pile sort of like collapses in on itself. A few more shakes, maybe even like the toss
Yeah.
and grab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get a better grip. Yeah.
Yeah. This is odd. I mean, it was already odd. But how it would have changed, how it would have gone back is something that you don't quite get. Or how one person can smell two ways. Like that's just, it's against every canine law.
Yeah, so I drop it at Certainty's feet, and then I sit and I'm just sniffing the air like I'm fixated with it.
Yeah. So
I want to give scritches.
you want to pay this nut?
Yeah, I like to think that Rosie up against Wolfnut, like especially if you're sitting down, I come up to maybe like almost all the way to your shoulder. So like you're this giant, crazy dire wolf, right? So come up and I give you scritches right on the shoulder.
Her ear twitches like she likes it, but she's like not betraying herself. She's
exactly.
She's stoically sniffing.
Even
That's
as
enough.
an
That's enough for
example,
me.
wolf.
She's staying true.
She doesn't react like poorly. She doesn't growl or anything. So Rosie knows like that's approval.
You see the tail twitch. Nope.
Absolutely. So we're gonna dig into this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Crack
so,
it open?
Yeah. So
This is certainty has the bag right now. You dropped it at her
Yeah, I
feet?
dropped her feet, but she can't see it. So
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. She says, "Is it late right now? Is it?
Is it?
That's what she's asking.
Well, we have to ask
I
you
asked the
now.
DM.
It's about 1 p.m. Crisp, bright spring day.
No? It's nice.
It's about 1 p.m. A crisp, bright
spring day. Yeah. Jinx.
She says, "That's terrible. That's bad news.
Why?
I was hoping that it was dark." So she reaches down and cinches it open, turns it upside down, dumps it out. You see there's a few random coins. It's like 2 platinum and a silver. It's like change, basically.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly.
For the podcast, Cathris just picked up the coin.
Put them up in my pocket.
in his
yeah.
pockets, really.
Let's find out. These could have some sort of enchantment. These could be the secret. Just never think about them again.
And there is a scroll case inside the bag as well. Large, ornate, perhaps 1.5 feet long, but clearly intended to contain something
This long.
small. Clearly intended to contain like documents of state or something. Like it's ridiculous. It's too much.
It's ostentatious, would you say?
It's too much. It is too grand.
I'm not touching it. Get it.
I grab it.
Okay. You reach over to grab it,
Yeah.
and as you do, a blade projects on either end of the case, and they, in concert, strike the ground on opposite sides, bouncing it up into the air a couple of feet.
Yeah.
And then the blades lick out, and at the elbow down, this portion of your arm falls to the ground.
Oh, no.
But something odd happens.
That's not odd.
Not that.
That's not the odd part. The
odd part is there's more blood than you thought.
An arm grows back.
it's like trash. Like when it falls away at a certain level, it's like, well, that was always. It's just a matter of time. It's like we're winding a clock from the moment we're born, really.
Here we go.
loses an
Here
arm.
we fucking go.
From here on out
Arm story.
is you have perfect sensation, but it exists as whatever the material your eyes are.
No.
So it's this like crystalline.
Yeah, exactly. But you have sensation. It's cool to the touch, but it's okay.
Okay, so my first reaction at my arm coming off.
It doesn't, and it doesn't now on the ground. It does not completely know what to do with itself.
Right. And I am immediately like I go for something that I can like I wrap it in my cloak like to see if I can like staunch
Yeah.
flow, which does not come.
No.
But he's bleeding?
No.
My first assumption upon seeing the crystal is that it is blood.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but now I'm. So you hear me go, oh, fantastic.
Amazing.
Which is actually the most alarming thing you could say.
But I am like visibly horrified. Like I am shocked at what has just happened. And I'm like, like moving it. Is it, but it feels like my hand, I mean, as far as I know, as far as it knows.
You operate it the same way you would any other part of the mortal apparatus.
What's the hand on the ground doing?
Dancing in agitation.
Is it like dying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Legati hates it.
This thing.
No, the arm on the ground.
Oh.
He's
Hold on a second,
he's
son.
He's swearing at it.
It's very new.
And
It's all very new.
And hissing at it, and chastising it, and
Get a hold of yourself.
cursing it.
I'm going to each of you. Am I in shock? Am I in shock? Do I seem like am I in shock? Do I appear to be in shock?
When I sniff his arm, what do I smell?
You smell. Gosh, you've been there before. It smells like the cathedral.
Okay. And I put my ears back and I involuntarily whimper a little bit.
When Certainty made the comment about is it dark out or not, I was gonna go over. I was gonna start going through the process of like, because no one's met her other than Walnut, so I was gonna be like, "Are you okay?" I was gonna go over there and try to heal her, trying to fix what was wrong.
You still can.
Dinar's going into. Dinar was going to start like healing her or helping her, and then it's like, whoop! Never mind, he lost his arm. I guess he goes to the front of the line. I guess it's like, here, let me help you. Wait, hold on. Blind, missing an arm.
Triage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta choose one.
I don't honestly, I don't know.
I'm doing like a mental, like a checklist of like, am I in shock? Do I seem coherent?
Pick your arm up.
I
gross.
poke your arm with my staff. I'm not worried about this. That seems fine. But the creepy twitching arm on the ground, I'm not super into. So
It's losing its enthusiasm moment by moment.
Yeah.
And as its movements become less frequent, Legati knows that this is the time to strike.
Oh boy.
And he gets into it.
Fighting just
Just right on the middle, just like a shark. Just catches it in the middle. He hates everything about it.
Is he trying to kill or eat?
It's hard to say. You're not sure anything will be left by the time he's hungry.
Right, so, are you okay? I think I would be shocked by this.
You tell me. Someone do triage. Somebody tell me if I'm okay or not.
I examine the wound.
Legati, wait, hold on a second. I'm like, but I'm saying like, why? Like, why do you hate it? What are you doing?
He just you communicate to it.
I will. I'll just say like, why?
He says, would that all of you were this way. And he wiggles his head at your forearm.
New forearm.
Yeah, Cassidy.
We're gonna have that talk sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I'll pick up your. Well, is Legati fighting with the?
Oh no!
Is it easy to pick up?
It's in two pieces now.
I think
Which one
he's
do you want?
excited to destroy it.
The one that's, I guess, that would
The one with the hand, or the
other.
back part?
I guess they're just the forearm
nub.
chunk. I mean,
I want the hand.
closest to the closest to
The limbs are mine.
The healer is Dinar or a doctor.
I smell meat.
Oh, man. I just want to like hold it next to like where it came off and like inspect.
I happily like.
Like,
take
what do
the-
I see? Yeah.
There's no blood. I take my cloak off and I'm examining the site.
What happens where Arm stops and Ruby starts? Is it like
It's-
a clean transition?
It's
The Jaden Smith tweet.
it's like a clean transition. The only sensation that you can really establish about it in general, but the only new piece of information is that seam between the two has an itch. It's like if you see the corner of a label come up, and you're like, God, I should just take it all.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Does it look like it's coming out from under the skin?
Right now it's sealed up, but there is
It's
an itch
just like
underneath it.
peel the
Like
beer bottle label off.
sunburn or something.
yeah.
It's just like, ooh, I know I can get a big piece.
What do I see on the arm chunk where it was severed? Is there anything?
That is
look like
clean.
normal
yeah,
meat.
Yeah, that just looks like
It's just a big old
USDA choice chuck.
with a little bone in the middle. Yeah. I go, it's not mine to give. She did find a bag.
It could be poisonous. Ordinarily, I'd say yes, but let me inspect it. Let me test this thing first.
Give you your arm chunk. But I'm like poking it. I'm poking it where it goes.
I imagine, much like my eyes, there's a translucency, like it is a literal gem-like.
It's a figurative, but it's also a literal.
Oh, the best kind.
What happens?
The blades have now retracted back into the scroll case, and it is resting on the ground.
After I go up and I sniff his arm. What happens if I? This sounds so awful. What happens if I lick the seam?
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Dude, happy Valentine's Day. You mean the seam like on his arm?
Yeah,
His
I'm
new
huge.
seam.
I can get to him.
That's
Oh,
true.
no, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna stop.
I still,
Let's get through it.
I still want to
fine.
adjudicate what happens when you want to eat him. Can we get back to that?
Dude, we've been getting to that the whole campaign.
She can't help it.
It's
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
I offered the arm meat. He said no.
Yeah, but you said you were going to test it. But I want to follow that thread.
I'm saying that because I don't
Let
want people to
her
eat my
eat
arm.
you. What are you going to do with it?
No, I just have the compulsion.
Right.
That's
It's just raw meat now.
some yummy raw meat. Yeah, I get it. It's a wolf.
It's not you anymore.
It is not.
It's just treats.
Well, okay. You're 100% right. After I have inspected it, and I'm like, it's just my arm. There's nothing going on here. I have lost my arm, which has not happened to me yet. I just throw the piece on the ground, and I say, my patron is taking parts of me. It is trying to move in and feed me to one of these. I point at Legati. No.
Are you saying this out loud?
You don't get to, yeah, I say it out loud.
Like a soliloquy?
You don't get to do that. You don't get to at me right now.
I'd be like, well, the box took your arm. Seems like your guy hooked you up with a new arm.
I look at Legati and I dispel him. I undo the find familiar. I return him.
Oh no.
Right, so he, like, the reason I know this is how it works, I won't say, but it immediately, or Legati, like, the mouth stretches wide, like too wide, until it cracks halfway down, and then it splits, and then those two pieces war and shred each other for a while, and then those pieces shred each other until there's nothing left.
That was worse than you losing your arm.
Ew.
Just nothing left. Okay.
What does it look like? Do they
It's
leave
movement.
like?
There might be like fiberglass.
That's-
Like amethyst fiberglass that is just sort of wormed away. It's like those little worms in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
The ones in the worms that get into the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, thank you.
Yeah, the worms.
I don't know this part.
They're
Anyway,
gummy bears.
yeah. But they
Gummy worms.
Grow on the trees.
They were Oompa Loompas. They're not worms. They're people.
essentially these
like.
purple filaments that once they've reached that low threshold, burrow into the ground and swim away under the ground.
Yeah.
I would like to do something if I may.
You gonna eat that meat?
I was just gonna say we're getting full vor or like partial vor.
Okay, so Walnut, when you throw the arm and you start talking, she can't help it. She pounces on it and she starts consuming it. And that part still has blood in it, so that gets on her face. And she's like fighting with herself, like she doesn't want to do it, but she's chewing at it and she's getting pieces of it. And then she pulls herself away and turns back into Walnut, and she just looks at you, and she's just crying.
Oh, now I feel bad.
And like you have like
Oh yeah, blood,
blood?
smeared.
Like blue skin.
Certainty says, "What's happening?" Somebody needs to the whole
lot.
last 5 minutes. Just.
I'll go over and try to fix her.
For the podcast, tell me what's happening.
Top line it for me. It seems like a lot. I want someone to keep me in the loop.
I am like just because of the shock of all that's happened. Like I'm as near to tears as you saw me after my mother Drider died, and I am looking at Walnut, and then I break eye contact to look at Certainty and say, "Your dad's failsafe sucks."
That's safe to say, yeah.
Do we know who she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been established.
But like
You might not have,
you met her in secret.
You haven't met her.
How would Dinar know who she is?
Because Walnut has been bragging about the fact that she
All right.
met
That's
omens.
I'm just trying to remember because
Yeah,
like you
it's legit.
snuck away in secret, and then you met her, and you're the only one who met her face to face before.
True.
I might have met her when I was at HQ, when Omen got me into his weird bathysphere office. I think we might have met her briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like, would Dinar know, or would he just be like,
I don't think it's
who are
a
you,
crazy secret
stranger?
to be kept. And I don't think it would like startle like, oh,
No,
when does
I'm
it
just-
stop? I don't know.
I mean, Dinar kind of thinks all pink-skinned pig creatures look the same anyway, so
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't remember her.
you
Like,
might
oh,
even,
one is
you're a
this?
certainty.
you might
Supposed to be
feel
blind.
Are you
I
sure?
don't know. Yeah.
it's like you have relief that for once, like, yeah, there's a reason why she looks like another person you know. It's like, oh yeah, because they're related. Finally. It's not me being racist.
I would go over to Certainty, and after like a long, thoughtful pause, I'd put a hand on her and say, "This is Rosie, sweetheart. Do you know of a way to disarm kind of a scroll case blade trap? Does this ring any bells?" That's the most, I think, salient point here.
It would be easier if I could see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I come over on the other side of her shoulder. I go, "You always blind? You always been blind? Is this new?"
No,
No,
you can't just go up to people and say, "Are you always blind?"
Well, she's context clues. She seems like.
she said it's recent. It's just something I'm trying.
Okay. All right. So you like it?
Oh yeah, while you're having that interaction, I go over to Walnut and I use prestidigitation to remove the blood from you, but not before using my new hand, I wipe some of my own blood on it, and I'm looking at it, examining it.
Oh man, and I'm just like a little kid. It's like, you know when little kids like discover their limbs for the first time?
Oh yeah.
I'm like reaching out and just like unconsciously like touching your arm and feeling what it feels like, because we've been to the cathedral twice now, and like I know what this is.
Yeah.
Right. And you can see the the blood goes into the fingertips, and then you can just sort of see it travel through via some channel in there that's not
Capillary
apparent.
action.
Right?
Yeah.
Elves befuddled by crystals.
Did my lay on hands pull is full again.
If you've rested.
Have we rested since? I remember I used almost all of it on
No,
the Metroid.
luckily, as your dungeon master,
We haven't rested.
I can recommend a great spot.
Well,
Just
I
nearby.
want to ask her if I was like, I will heal you if you would like. I've only got 1 point left, but I can remove a disease.
Well, it requires it. She says it. I'm not sure that's going to cut it.
According to D&D Beyond, it would.
Oh, lay on hands will remove conditions.
Yeah,
Well, that's great news.
I only got 1 point left.
Hey, that's all it takes.
Yeah,
You gonna hit it?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit her?
I go close fist. I go. You're gonna feel a little pressure.
Just a little pinch, a little mosquito
I
bite.
just kind of
Line it up.
square it up. She had no
you
idea.
Never get this kind of opportunity.
Yeah, like really back. He's like 8 feet tall and just holding a little hand, and then just, doot. Yeah, one of these, right between the eyes.
She
Now you may see my child.
exactly.
Oh boy.
And then she sees Dinar.
She blinks her eyes a few times, and stands up, flexes her limbs, and immediately, like the first thing, as soon as she gets her bearings, she looks directly toward the drawing courtier and says, "That might be a better place for us to do this."
I don't know how are we supposed to get this over there?
Well, the bags?
Yeah. Well, the scroll case. Well, last time we tried to touch it, this guy cut his arm.
It's in the bag though.
Oh, it's
could
back.
also-
Did it
Look
hop
Look
back
at
in
his
the bag?
crazy arm.
I could mage hand it too.
Oh,
Like, I could
there's
do
lots of
any
ways to
number of
get it.
ways,
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. One of the things you missed was this. I point to Cathris's arm. That just happened.
Yeah, you get her lip is sort of tugged, like upper left, like just like a little sneer. She's creating a kind of calculation. She says, obviously I've had conversations with Walnut about this, but this is spreading, yes?
Seems to be.
It's the Sangolith?
Yes.
Where do we think this ends?
The same place that all temporal things end, ideally.
She says, "You are exactly like your file." And she says, "I know the way. I'll have my grandmother prepare a place for us."
Let's go.
She moves out, and it's like, I mean, so you know, I mean, looking at this, obviously the cart's fucked up, but you're in a place that there's people who can fix things like this. That it might be a complicated conversation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there's opportunities to get these sorts of things resolved.
And Coriander's here.
Oh, absolutely. She could just drag the broken cart, I guess, all the way down the hill.
Sure.
That's one way to do it. But Certainty is definitely on her way to sort of prepare the next phase of it.
All right. I beckon to Penitent and I just say, "You're coming."
She says, "I'm being told this is a place of safety."
Yes.
How safe? Categorize it.
The safest I've felt.
And she looks up in the air. Like she has a sort of, it's not a face, but it's a body posture.
Sure.
When she was over the crypt in the floating city in the Anarok Desert, she claimed to be hearing songs or voices. And she, you can see that she is like just listening to the air, And when you see her face turn toward the Red Larch Forest, she says, "Who rules there?"
Nilayan?
Tell me more. I have a sense that this is the sort of person I should know more about.
So I'll proceed to tell her about her, but just start
You
with
want to walk with her
the whole
down
thing,
to the...
yeah.
What are the highlights? Give me the top 2 Nilayan highlights
So
that she should know.
I'm talking to her, but I'm just staring at Cathris's arm the whole time as we're walking, and we're walking in the back.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of talking in this like monotonous way. I say, she's an ancient grove keeper. We found her in Cathris's father's secret knife laboratory.
She says,
She came out of a seed, and at one point I saw a vision of her in battle with the drow, and then she just kind of continues on with like, she's not very nice.
sort of jerk.
She's very domineering. I would know.
And then she tilts her head in the direction of Cathris's arm, and she says, "Tell me more of this."
I say, there's a place called the Sanguilith that captures gods. We've been there, and we've seen, what it's capable of. And I believe it's taking him too. In its way.
Is it taking him, or is he going?
With him, I don't know.
Yeah. In this eastern approach, you're walking through the small wooded area that separates Red Larch from the quarry proper, a place that you know to be the court of the Nut Lords that hold sway in this place. You think you might see the occasional bout of deference from one of them as you walk through, but it can be difficult to know. Squirrels are notoriously secretive creatures.
Spies, all of them.
Indeed. The drawn-in courtier doesn't seem any worse for wear. The carriage house stands much as you left it. Strong doors closed. And inside there are a few people who are leaving half-full plates and being shooed out the door by Propha.
Okay, good.
They're telling her that they will never be back. And she says, "Where else are you going to go?" It's a small town. Propha leans a heavy boot against the door on the inside and backs away a little bit for everyone to enter.
All right, we filter in, I guess.
You've never seen her... Well, there's one other time. There's one other time you've seen this level of energetic exposition on her generally pretty neutral face. And that is when she was doing literal battle beneath the crust of Red Larch in a dragon cult sanctum. She has begun, after everyone is in, when she sees this masked face, but also Brahma's hair, she shares a look with Auspicia, and then looks over at Brahma, and then looks at you.
I just go, don't.
No, thank you. She begins scooting tables together, as she might have in a tent long ago to plan a campaign.
What are y'all doing?
I'm just loving it.
Just feeling all right.
Yeah, Dinar, what are you doing?
I would be asking certainty. I would say, so you were under attack. The home office was attacked. Were other branches attacked? Or was it just the home office?
But she says, I'm not sure. And she dumps out, while she's talking to you, she dumps the scroll case out onto the middle table. And when Propha reaches a gauntleted hand over toward it, Certainty says, Grandma.
You don't want one of those.
Yeah. Just swipes her hand away. And she says, well, in a way, they attacked all the branches. But it's possible that they focused on specific branches for attacks as well. She says, this is a new, we're entering a new era.
So what happened at the headquarters? Who attacked?
She says, we have reason to believe, and we don't know why this is, but we have reason to believe that there is some axis of interest between the 6 drawn enterprises and the individual that we call Oak True Strike.
No. Not Oak. No. No. You might believe that, but jury's still out.
She says, there's a lot that we don't know about him. I'd prefer not to believe the things I've heard.
Me too.
He was an incredible agent who led an incredible team.
Agreed. He's so great.
He is incredible.
He's just so great.
Tell her about the time you grew him from a little hairy football.
Yeah, I raised him. Yeah.
She says, yeah. And she is now sort of kneeling down and looking close at the mechanisms. She says, tell me more about that. He was a hairy ball?
He...
Is that right?
The whole cause of that, I keep pointing to his arm. When we were dealing with that, what's the maker of all that, he died. And then
she says, yeah, he does that.
Yeah, I kept his hair.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Okay, not much.
Kept it in my bag. Yeah. And then he grew out of that. He was a little baby for a little bit. Kept him with me. The end.
Nothing to tell, really.
Yeah, just, but this isn't real mundane. Like, this happens every day. Everyone.
Yeah, she says it's, that he's a god, right?
Demigod.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you don't gotta tell me.
Listen,
Finally, some respect for
Yeah.
she says, Rosie, it turns out that half is plenty when you're talking about gods. And she says it's something like a life cycle. She says, think of it like this. And then she pulls a chair over and sits at the table in front of this thing, slaps down a black oiled leather kit to the left of the scroll case, unsnaps it, slides a few of the tools out. She says, imagine that there's 2 gods.
Blasphemy.
She says, buckle up. It's going to get crazier. Imagine that there's 2 gods that can't agree on what's right and what's wrong. And whenever they die, they trade.
Whenever they die, they trade?
They trade. It's like one of them gets to be in the prime material at a time.
Okay.
And so she begins to retrieve individual tools and scoop it around. And she says, Grandma, do you have a tray, like a silver tray, like a tea tray? And Prophet says, no. Okay. She begins setting to work on the right side. So it looks like this is a pretty detailed process, and she may be at it for a while. Is there any other things we want to manage? Any other things we want to discuss? Any conversation that you want to have We haven't been back to the DNC for a while. And you can start resting if you
Well,
want.
I mean, I would be. This has been a whirlwind pace. What are we? I mean, what are we doing?
Where's Omen?
Where's Omen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we
that's
going
primary.
back? Are we fortifying? Might we be under attack?
Well,
Start
we don't-
panicking.
We don't know what Certainty knows about Omen. She only told you.
I say, I look at Penitent, my possessed wife. I look at Cthulhu, and I look at the ground, and I just go, we gotta find Omen.
Or do we have to find Omen? Do we have to find Oak?
Gotta find
I
Omen.
think we need to find Omen. I turn to Certainty and I say, where is Omen?
She says, so she stops working and then like slowly brings the tools away and sets them down. And she says, he was very close to Doldrama.
Physically.
I think that he was talking to her, and maybe that's what activated it or started it. Whatever happened to Doldroma, Omen, Dad was talking to her.
What happened to her?
She says, she looks down at the table for a second, and Prafa's jaw sets, and she nods quietly and goes into the back. And as Certainty begins to speak, Prafa sets a glass in front of her, a mug. She takes a sip and she says, she caught on fire in the middle of the headquarters. And the fire, it was like a cyclone. It ripped out of her and whirled around. And this is the scariest part. This is the part that I hate. I could see her in the middle of it, and she didn't know what was happening.
She didn't realize
No,
she was acting normal, or
no, she seemed terrified at what was happening. I don't think it's something that she
she didn't do it.
intended to do. Just can you tell me?
I'd like to fill her in on everything that happened in the fundamental court. The dual drama that we found and where she took us. And stopping just short of the pronouncements that we made.
Yeah, edit that part out.
Yeah, I'll let you guys tell that if you want to.
The sandals.
Definitely.
She summoned sandals.
Summoned sandals and walked out. And yeah, I do. I tell her the part about we had her frozen in this gem in the cart. And when we got back to the cart, she was gone.
Okay. She starts to sort of like draw with her finger on the table, like trying to, you think she's trying to sequence events?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I'm not sure she wanted to be a part of this at all.
She definitely wasn't herself when we saw her.
That doesn't mean that it didn't happen,
Right.
but I don't think she wanted to do it. That matters to me.
So that's all you remember is this cyclone.
Yeah, she says that when it got close, without thinking, I jumped into the bag network. I jumped into the network that holds the Horseperson's bags. We have it in the, I don't know if you saw it when you were at the headquarters, but it's like a library, like a card library. And we can reach into any of them and put things in people's bags, retrieve things from missions. And she says, without thinking, I just jumped in.
Oh, it's good that you did.
And she says, I don't, but we never saw anyone else in there. She says, I don't know how much of the company is left.
How do we find out?
She says we're going to have to go to Waterdeep. But we're going to have to go there. She says, look, let's pause, like, on a road.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds like the travel networks are all busted right now.
Well, busted or dangerous.
Yeah.
It's what, 2 days ride from here? A week?
Yeah, it's about a week. You remember a while back, if you go hard,
Right.
at least in the way that we interpret that map.
Well, I can get our car repaired.
She says, "Are you handy with a mallet?"
You might say that. I know a guy. I can take care of that part. But you keep working on this. I think we need to figure out what this is. I get the feeling it's related.
And she nods quickly.
Okay.
And then when you do this, and then Auspicia says, "Before you start," and she leans in and puts her hand on the right side of Certainty's head, and just sort of like presses their foreheads together, and smiles, and then heads back into the kitchen.
Can you hex it?
Hex?
Yeah, is it only a creature that you hex? Or can you hex an object?
I can hex, creatures, yeah.
Just creatures?
I think so, yeah.
Can you mend the card axle?
What are you looking for? What do you want done?
Well, my thinking was if she's doing dexterity checks against this, against this tube, and you could hex the dexterity of the tube. Don't worry about it. I've been in D&D land.
No, I was just gonna say, this is the sort of thing you can expect from 6E.
But wait,
You can hex objects.
I can.
Damn it.
Nothing,
Jerry.
everything can be hexed. You can hex words,
I can
conversation.
give her cat's grace.
Yeah, does it stack? I don't think it would stack with whatever Auspicia did, but it might,
Oh, yeah,
it might
I
not
guess
be the
you're
same.
right.
I can heal her if her arm gets cut off.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's that.
Or just put it very close to the stump.
Yeah.
Is this a magical thing that's happening? Can I just dispel magic on it?
There's all kinds of ways that we
Listen,
can
I
approach this
have-
content.
We should rest though.
We should rest. Let's leave this object where it is. I was going to say that I can, looking at it, right? It's a traditional scroll, except for how ornate it is.
Oh, it is. Well, it is definitely a device design. It looks, that it's a scroll case,
Correct.
but it's like a scroll case that you would get like from Sky Mall. You know what I mean? Like
It's a lot of scroll
it's
case.
too much scroll case.
I was going to say, if it's
it,
like that,
Skylar.
then I will just, after we rest and are prepared to confront this object, I can just mage hand if there's a clasp and see if that will trigger it. We can find like a stadium and everybody's limbs behind their backs, and then maybe we can get it open that way.
Perfect. What could go wrong?
Our arms behind our backs. Just can't do anything to us. They don't, yeah. We win. We win.
Now we're safe. Now we're safe.
Beat the system.
And then as
Actually, I might as well open it with this gem hand that I've got. Just rip that open.
What if you tried again with the same hand?
can't get it. Yeah,
Can't get you
can't
twice.
do it now.
2 times.
Exactly.
Strikes.
Fool me twice. Gem hand. So basically, there's a long exhalation from Certainty drawn, and she picks her tools back up, and then reaches out toward the device, and then there is probably a 7 to 9 second yawn. And she says, I think I can do this in the morning. I think maybe the morning would be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Rosie I think that if Omen's dead, then this is potentially an orphan. So I'm already like, can we get this?
You're already lining up?
Yeah.
And
Prophet's not next to kin?
Shadow Council box checked. Take credit for this.
Oh no, I have Save Omen from Rosie on my quest list.
No.
Right, quest failed.
We will get into this and so much more when the C team returns. Take it away, Josh. Hello. My name is Jeffrey K. Horcrims. and this is to C teams. When last we saw our heroes, they were actually at home.
Oh,
We're going sleepy by.
Yeah, I mean they were going to the night zone. But no doubt, there's a lot of private regimens that we can expose directly to the Shadow Council if we'd like to. Is it like brush your teeth and the teeth in the cup type situation, or is it like real teeth, or like?
Chat's real teeth.
Okay, I don't know.
Some ageist garbage you got going on there.
Yeah, these are some flat teeth. All right, let's be honest about this. I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's a long time to be chewing grains. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
But Rosie, I am checking on Certainty, and I keep a cup of warm milk, freshly baked cookies, just like making sure she has everything she needs. Not because I don't think I want to scoop her and be like, ooh, this one's fresh, you know. But just so she knows, like she's got another.
She got options.
She got options.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what I can bring to the table.
Exactly, but
it's just like a college recruit.
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a constant. Essentially, it's like have you ever seen like the diagram of like the internal operation of a combustion engine?
Sure.
Where like the pistons they're running in this sequence. Mm-hmm. It's like that, but it's Rosie B. Stinger, Prophetess drawn, and Auspicia drawn. Like Certainty cannot, like there is no possibility of rest at all. It's like every time you make your play, you're passing one on the way in and a different one on the way out.
But it's non-competitive. We're like,
No,
is she okay? Does she
no,
need it?
no, but it's just like she has not been alone for a second.
Of course not.
But perception rolls are a lot of fun.
I like those. What do you? That's just me. How
Yeah,
everybody?
just
Okay.
you, because you're the one coming in and out of this
It's an 11.
circumstance. You hear on the way back in. It's like, do you want to hear some stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say.
Have
Okay,
you met Rosie?
Here.
Come on.
So you know that by this point it's like Metal Gear Solid almost. It's like it's a rotation of guards. yeah, exactly. So it's like you sort of everyone has fallen into routine, and it's entirely possible that both of the drawn women and yourself all know that each of you is going to be exposing like a different part of Certainty's psyche, and are all leveraging this situation as you can.
Yeah.
And on one of these rotations, you have already seen Auspicia, but Propha is still inside. And you hear Propha say, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll figure out what happened, and we'll figure out if Omen is okay. And she says, Grandma, if Dad is dead, he must have had a very good reason.
Solid.
Yeah, and so gentle knocks. I mean, how does Rosie make an entrance into this?
Wait for the flow through. No, I think I wait until Propha leaves, and I'm like very casually just like hanging out in that common area, upstairs.
Yeah.
And I've got some offering for, so like I've got a pile of fresh towels. So like, why would Rosie be hanging out with a pile of fresh towels? But she's just, I have them on the table in front of me, and I'm like picking lint.
No, you have to perfect the towels. But
Waiting.
no, it's the situation where it's never gonna be a bad thing to have some towels.
You never know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Sometimes it's a great thing.
Don't rely on the towels there.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So you make your entrance, and Certainty.
This is the fourth time.
Yeah, exactly. So she's just like, she just looks up and she's like, I'm fine. There's things we don't know. We're going to figure out what they are. I'm good.
Oh, that's wonderful, dear. I brought you some fresh towels. Are you okay, though?
Yeah.
She's trying to get to the real truth.
She's like, yeah.
But are you really?
And tell Auspicia, I'm fine. I'm great.
She can wait her turn.
She's at the door.
Yes, she is.
And then the door creaks open a little bit and auspicious, like, you're really okay? It's fine? Yes! God! And she lays down. She's like, going to sleep now. Pulls the blanket over.
Do you need any more blankets?
I'm asleep.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
You having good dreams in there?
Go away.
I leave the towels. I go, I'll check back on you in 10 minutes.
Nice. So, Penitent is, she's like, it's like CSI Red Larch.
Okay.
It's like she has a sense of this place, like a good, strong sense, but she's just verifying it. Like, so, like, she's like counting the number of slats in the banister. She kneels down to look in the mouse hole. She makes a gesture of salute toward Onyx, who doesn't give a shit.
Yes. These are all great.
She spends a long time looking at the picture over the fireplace. And then ultimately she just sits on the stool on the small stage near the fireplace.
I see that, and I think about talking to her, but it's just so hard with the way that she is.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much. And so I give her a good night because I trust that she'll be there in the morning. And I go upstairs and I go to my room. I open the door and then I think better of it. And then I go over to Cthulhu's door and I go to knock on it and my hand's just waiting there. And I'm just paused. And I stand like that for a long time.
This is in that central room. Of course, small table in the middle. Shelf behind. Big goblet full of potions.
Yes.
Various trophies of your successes in your storied career.
Wizard cart.
Wizard cart, for example.
I come out of Certainty's room and close the door ever so gently behind me, and I see you posed outside of Cthulhu's room with your fist up. And I go over to the area, I think right behind the table, sort of near the banister. I have laid out all of the next 6 errands I'm going to run into Certainty's room.
Yes.
They're all prepared. And so...
Dude, you were going to be so good. Your grandma game, like OOC, your grandma game
Can't
is
wait.
going to be on fucking point.
Get there, fast forward. But I have a cheese platter.
What the fucking charcuterie?
Yeah. And so I hand over to you. I offer it to you and I say, sometimes these things are a little easier if you have a gift to bring.
And I look at that and I go, and I find the moldiest one. And I just pick it up. And I have it in my hand. Because I'm thinking, what is the most underdark thing? It would be, really moldy.
What
do you go for?
Yeah.
And I have it in my hand and I go, you're right.
And I say, exquisite choice. Back away.
And I turn back to the door and I give, the tiniest little,
Yeah, I
and he's not in there.
He's fast asleep.
He's in his safe.
You open it?
Yeah, I open it.
I just step in.
With nothing.
Just, past you.
Okay.
Here's this cheese.
Yeah, and I say, here's this, and I put it on your end table.
Just naked, no plate.
No plate.
Just cheese.
As the door closes, you see Rosie nice.
And I turn to you matter-of-factly, and I say, what's happening to you?
I have my father's knife in my hand.
Don't do it. No, I'm joking.
No.
So just prior to this, so before we do that,
Okay, go ahead.
I was at my whatever small table there may be in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you from behind, it would look like that
The game.
knife
Five-finger,
pointing,
yeah.
trying to stab game. But like I'm just doing it very poorly. I am trying to see if it will take damage. So the question is like, am I able to do anything to this hand? Am I experiencing pain? I imagine there's no blood coming out.
No, there's no blood, but it essentially the way that it works is if you do cut it, you know that it is cut.
Right.
The information that you receive is pain information, but what flows into the place solidifies and hardens into crystal.
Is it? We had encountered like this silvery, like a memory fluid when we were in the Sangolith. Is it that?
Indeed. No. This material is not the memory fluid.
I was like, indeed. Holy shit.
Like the fuck out.
Okay, so it's like some Sangolith matter on its own, like its defense.
Yeah. Some
body.
some
Yeah.
mechanism. I mean, who knows? So you may have an opportunity to test it there.
Yeah. So now catching up.
Harumph.
How did it go again? You said that's for you.
I said, that's for you. And then I turned around and immediately said, what's happening to you?
I'd say as far as I can tell, the Sangolith has grown impatient. And perhaps it was always impatient and has accelerated the degree to which it is impatient to claim me. I am not a very good servant in its eyes. And that pleases me to no end. But I don't know what happens when the rest of this becomes this.
How
That's a really cool scene in the show. I keep thinking that too.
how can I stop this?
Maybe there could be sort of a team initiative to prevent me from losing any more body parts. Is the easiest thing I can think of. Sort of everybody on watch.
That was my first idea.
It's funny because the first thing I was going to have Dinar say was like, you should try cutting off a toe, see what happens then. I was going to suggest to like testing because you could really just see if you could get him to cut off a toe. But I was going to say that, be like, the experimenter in you wants to just cut off the end of one of your fingers.
I think I got enough data.
Yeah. But like, persuasion.
You can actually do this for real.
That's true.
You can go in there.
Later.
You're not here yet.
You can be, that's fine. But I say, but how do we fix it?
The Sangolith has to die. It has to perish. We have to free my god. And those two might be related, maybe not. But if the Sangolith stops, then I guess it wouldn't go any further than this for me. And this is something that Chris doesn't know, but Chris might understand better.
Jump in.
Say that I would have to extricate myself from the pact I made. I would have to undo it, but I expect that there would be a lot of
Like any contract.
there would be a lot
Onerous.
of fallout. Yeah. For what is the term in a contract where you breach the contract?
Breach of contract.
Breach of contract.
No, but when you pull out of like your rental agreement. Shoot, I thought there was a specific
Being
term
delinquent?
for it. It's not delinquent. It's like you break the contract, but in the contract itself, it says, all right, well, if you want to leave, then you have to give up this, and X months rent or whatever. Yeah, there's a penalty.
There's a word for this.
There's a word for it, but there would be a penalty
I feel
for
like
me.
I should know this.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I just look at you and I she like looks behind her like maybe Rosie's listening at the door, and so is she?
Well, there's no way for us to know.
But there is.
And she just says very quietly, she just says, I need to help you.
I appreciate that. I very much want your help. Of anybody's here. I think you could help me the most, potentially. But I don't know the shape of that yet.
Well, I hate that. But when you do, you have to tell me.
Of course, my Leaky.
Call me Walnut.
What did I say?
Don't worry about it. And then she says, good night, Catharis.
Good night.
No, is it bites or is it just?
Just slide it in. Yeah. Who knows? At first bites, then the rest.
I leave and I bump full force into Rosie.
Just coming past, just passing through by this door.
Good night,
Emotion.
grandmother.
Good night, sweetie.
Close my door.
Oh, before you are closing the door, or you go in.
Mm-hmm.
You're still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, remind me, because we got away from it.
Okay.
But Coriander spit out the book.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
What became of it?
I have
You had it.
I still have the book.
I think you still have it.
And I think I probably forgot about it in all the kerfuffle, but I have it. It's in my cartographer pouch.
I'm just wondering if I would know to bring it up.
Yeah, did you have a sense that was the missing?
The book is from there, right?
Yeah, I knew about
It's one
the
of
book,
your books.
But Dinar threw it away.
But in the library, if you want an impetus, either way.
I can give you impetus.
Well, I mean, my suspicion is that it's like a gap tooth.
That's right. I know. I feel the knife is a little light.
Every time.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, but it's like some micron level weight shift.
I suspect that I have looked at this book and I don't know if I just don't understand what I'm reading or if I'm in denial about what I'm reading, but I know that I need help processing it.
You need expert help.
And we were once upon a time trying to figure out the Sanguilith's
That's right.
connection to
Yeah.
constellations, right?
So I think if Walnut leaves, if I were to catch your eye, because I'm totally eavesdropping on this conversation of which I heard nothing, but I was not a single word. You were very quiet, but I was trying my damnedest. But if I catch your eye, I think in that moment I would be like, oh, actually. Do you mind? I have a question.
No, I don't.
I do.
I too have a question.
I don't mind at all, and I hold the door open.
I run and get another piece of cheese, and I come in.
This is not necessary. It would be rude.
Just eat the whole thing before you allow me in.
You just have to stand there. More. Okay.
But I do. I come in. I gently close the door behind me, and I sit down without being invited at your table because I figure.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
And I rummage in my little cartographer pouch. And I say, I found the strangest thing recently, and I wonder if you might know. And remind me, Jerry, how did this book come about? Like, did it just pop out of the knife? Did I get it out of the knife, or it just like fell out at some point? Do you remember?
It bounced out.
It shook out.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
I was not aware of it.
Hey.
It woke Dinar up, or the knife rattling around.
Right.
Hit him or something.
threw it away.
Saw a small book, and you're like, bleh.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Coriander ate it,
Yeah.
Right, and now it's been barfed back
and
up.
then
Okay.
she threw it back up finally.
Now, one interesting thing about this book already is that, as you can see, it fits my hands, which is unusual for a book. This is clearly like halfling manufacture.
It's small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Small, but here's the strange. There is a strange detail, but when you open it, you get, and I show you. I turn the book towards you, and I say, you get kind of a sense of, perhaps you're experiencing this too, like deja vu, or I'm getting these kinds of, I'm seeing this and then I'm having memories that don't belong to me. Does this happen to you too? Here, maybe turn the page and see, are you?
I haven't read this book before, no.
You're-
But it's,
You're not feeling?
where's this book from? Where did you get this book?
It sort of found me very recently. I'm not sure where it came from, but I am sure that it's weird, and I don't care for it.
As an additional piece of sensory information, even for an old book, its musk levels are pronounced.
But like enjoyable, right?
Increased over the baseline. It has no cover proper. The binding is sort of is shredded and worn, and the front of it, the very front page of it, has no inscription of any kind except for a diagram of the homeward star.
Okay, so is it written in Halfling or Common or in any language that I would recognize?
Yeah, it is written in a kind of common. Like it has novel diction and a few terms that you can use context clues
Old
to
common.
to arrive at, but it's contemporary, in the last few decades,
Okay.
maybe a century perhaps.
I understand what I read here, but it's not really about what's written. And I just give you the book. It's not about what's written in it. It's about the feeling.
Musk.
Usually when I read a book, I take the knowledge from it and I categorize that, put it away, file it in my brain. But this is different. When I read this, it's as though it was already there, and it's being unlocked or uncovered in some way. Do you have this? Does this happen to you?
I'm looking at the book. So I say, no. And I'm flipping through the book, and what I'm looking for is, so I know the subject, right? And
It's
what is the connection to?
It's embroidered. Obviously, the language is embroidered, but it refers to it's a diaspora,
Yeah.
and it's told in a way that where its nature as a piece of as a historical document or as a piece of fiction, it exists in a middle place, like an epic poem.
Legend, yeah, but not based on nonsense.
No,
Yeah,
but
there's roots.
the assailant in this tome, whether it constitutes a documentary examination of a historical fact or simply an embroidered truth, it is the halflings that spread out across the stars, what they call the velvet cloak. They're bedeviled by something called the mouth. And they know that they have to leave because they can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
They have seen it. I mean, they look into their night sky and see stars disappear, and these stars get closer and closer to them.
Is this stuff that, Rosie, that you've would have absorbed from your reading this book too?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, but there's a weird familiarity to it.
And what it reads like to me is almost like a fable, like a childhood story.
Yeah.
And that's how it's always been told to me before, is that the homeward star is important to our people, and that's when you get lost, that's how you get found. And so while I've noticed that the stars are vanishing, what's interesting about this book of essentially a childhood story, like a tall tale, is that I'm starting to doubt my own sanity because it feels like it's true. Like it feels like something I already knew.
I will do the reverse of locate object. And I take the book out of your hands.
Okay.
And I say, just a moment. And I stab the knife in my face.
I as you do it, I'm like,
By now, so commonplace.
I go into my father's study, and I could not tell you which book was missing. But now that I have a book that has a subject, now I know where that subject would be in the cases of books. I go there.
Nice.
Am I finding an absent book here?
You are. Well, there is a. You can see the space, and then the books to the right and left of it are there's so many that they have sort of crept together as though for warmth.
Right.
On the shelf.
Some kind of equilibrium.
Exactly. But you find another document that is more direct and historical in its presentation of the same information.
Ooh, same form factor?
Same form factor. Still small.
Yeah.
But it has more of a unlike the story, the narrative, this is definitely history, but it is contained within an almost like parentheses of an activist zeal, where they are communicating this information for a specific purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And so it talks about how all halflings are one family, but that for the purposes of protecting halflings altogether, they had to become smaller families and spread apart. And it describes that process very painfully, because it wasn't always the family that you grew up with that you would be put with and sent away. And so it refers to what they call the Tomnooks, which is a family, like one of the like basically found constructed families that was sent out that was made up of artisans and clergy. For them, they felt like that was the natural combination. The bee stingers, who were seafarers, starfarers, and scholars.
I jump at the note of this name.
But they mention a third family called the Spinneret. And all it says is that their purpose is well known. It just, whoever would have read this, whoever would have had hands the size of this book would know. Like it's never even, there's no situation where you wouldn't know about it, right? Yeah. It seems obvious in the text. It says that some went to a world called Athos, in what they describe as a ship of clever design. It's something like a marble. But then the final phrase of the book says, "Tell them this story so they may return."
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's detailed, I mean, specific measurements, very technical where it needs to be, but it is all ensconced with, as I said, a kind of zeal that borders on the religious, even though all the numerics and mechanics of it are true and valid.
Yeah. All right, so after maybe 5-6 minutes of perusing it on my own, and just skimming chapter titles and the last page or two, I come back out of the knife and I say, I think this book will be much more interesting to you. And I turn specifically to the page that mentions the families and the bee stingers.
Right. And it goes into this specific thing where you are supposed to teach your children the homeward star, to make it, construct it in such a way when you're communicating this information that it has some kind of a local utility, but that it's the homeward star's true purpose is to orient them toward their home, their true home.
I read this specifically about the families, and you draw my attention to where they talk about the bee stingers, and Tomnooks, spinnerets, I've never heard of these, and spacefaring, that's not a thing.
Maybe it is, I don't know. Everything is conceivable. Among Dungeons and Dragons. The title drop.
The full range, yeah.
Who could say?
I'm done. I'm trying to have a nice dramatic moment with my friend Cthulhu.
No, I'd say, but I think that, given everything that people have seen, I don't know that going into space is that bizarre. I would say, in theory, one could simply do Dimension Door at its limit. The number of times you would need to leave this world, it's conceivable.
Oh, have you ever done it?
I think there's oxygen there.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the main problems.
There are workarounds, though.
I think the tone that I want to try to strike with Rosie's protestations here is that she clearly it's denial more than it is anything else. Like she knows she knows somewhere deep down
She even
that
has
this is right.
Strange memories.
Yeah, and strange memories are coming up, especially of her parents. You know, things that she had forgotten or buried, and
As
so
a great touch point might be the We Are Joy Mike and It episode.
of course, yeah.
Might be something there for you.
Yeah, and the boat is a boat is a boat. That memory, right? And when that memory is now reshaping itself to be in her mind before, of course, it was a rowboat on the sea at a dock or something, and now she's realizing that everything that she sees past that is open space, but. All the memories she has of this life, this long life that she's lived, it's different. All of it is different. All of it feels manufactured or something. And so I sit there and I say no. This seems insane. Go get a different one.
No, I think this is the correct one, and I think it is correct because it is insane.
Please don't tell Walnut yet.
Why not? What does she have to do with it?
I sit there and I fumble for a second and I say I don't want her to think I'm stranger than I am. I don't know why.
Listen, I believe that if one were to perhaps plot the people that Walnut knows in order of strangeness, that most of them are down here, and then I would be the outlier. So compared to that,
You're blowing the curve.
You may not be strange at all. You should maybe wake her up and tell her this right now.
Maybe.
I think you are quite normal. You should have confidence in that.
Maybe that is your purpose.
Calibration. Cosmic
Edge
calibration.
cases, yes,
Exception
I think
proves the
so.
rule.
Yeah.
No, you say that, and Cthulhu is touched, like I am. I go, oh, thank you. It's like there's a little secret, like a warmth, like
Rosy cheeks.
yeah.
That's the art we need.
What is this? The spinnerets, their purpose is known. It's not known to me. What could that mean?
We will find them.
Spinnerets.
We will learn of them.
Okay.
I gotta write spinnerets down.
Yeah.
So I don't forget.
And tome nooks.
I promise. It was already there.
Yeah.
Spinnerets. He said, and then tome. What?
Tomboys.
So
I'll use those again.
this feels insane, and you are the most out of touch person that I know. So what do I do with this information? What would you do with this information?
I would hold on to it, and then try to jam every other piece of information I collect into it.
That's true. That's exactly what you would do. All right.
Good night, Rosie.
And I'm done.
As though I've helped.
So,
Yeah.
Dinar, everyone else has come into this room. Is it your turn?
I don't.
You got anything?
You're yelling from the common room. Cut off a toe.
Like, yeah. Yeah, it's all been done at this point.
No,
You
yeah.
guys had fun.
It's
good.
just
I'm sleeping. I'm doing my 8.
Right, I'm sitting here and like
20 more minutes.
I hope everyone else is okay.
Yeah.
And then cut to dinner, just like sleeping hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, great night.
So, Walnut, as you enter your repose, there is an insistent, sharp tap on the window, and then it's interleaved like.
I turn into a tree and crush them
I turn into a tree and leave.
and leaf. I open the window
It's
and
like
I
non-stop pop stainless steel. No, that's not what it is. No, that's not real. There is just a chorus of agitated, haughty chirps.
I speak with animals and I say, I have
Daughter!
so much more on my mind than whatever paltry problem you've come here with.
We looked in the drowse window. He sustained a serious injury. A true friend would perhaps have protected him.
I reach for him. I reach for him and I want to roll for it.
Go, please do.
Take initiative.
I'm going to do acrobatics.
Yeah, definitely.
And I take
David.
advantage.
Yeah.
I blow charges.
I'll give you advantage.
Just granted.
Okay, that is a 14. Ooh, and a 17.
Right, so you're going to grab for him. He is a bird,
Yeah, all right.
right? We're contesting rolls.
All right. Roll like shit.
Oh no, it's 23.
He bites you.
So you reach for him, and then he just jumps up onto your wrist.
And I say,
Yes.
when I reach for him, I say, how dare you? And I say, we are true friends. You don't know anything. Anything. And then I reach for him again.
Go for it.
Yes.
Okay.
But just
That's
contest it.
17.
He might roll shitty this time. I mean,
17.
Take disadvantage, Jerry.
Fan favorites.
Oh, really? Okay. Is that how it's happening here?
Yeah.
I was doing good. I was doing so good. God damn it. All right. Yeah. You get that plump breast.
All right, I grab. Nice.
Yeah, it is.
I want a new voice.
Walnut.
Okay, so I grab this this bird
Oh!
and I pull him in close
Oh!
and I say, "Don't ever say that again,
Ozzy
or
Osbourne.
else." No, I've eaten enough blue friends today. Now I say, "Don't ever talk to me like that."
Down here. So, Truth, his constant companion, is singing joyously. She is accompanying this grip and this telling to with an incredible soundtrack of woodland joy.
I allow it. So I look at little Stellar's J, and I say, "Do you understand me?"
Yes.
It got a little luminous. Yeah.
Jeez.
And I say,
His
"Did you have anything else to say to me?"
Yes. Your head fur has reached a pleasing length.
I'm disgusted with him, and I just toss him, which I know he'll like right himself and fly, but I toss him.
Yeah. It's just right off, just hits it right on the edge of the slanted edge of the roof. Rolls off, catches wing, and then flies off toward Nilan.
And then I look at the other bird, and it's still there, and I just go, "No, I'm joking. No. Yeah. No, I say, watch yourself."
No. Truth says, I will speak of the daughter with reverence, but I do have a question.
What could you possibly have to ask me?
Did we see the Brahma?
Yes, she is downstairs.
How fares the Brahma? Her
She's-
beak is covered.
Yes, one might say her beak is covered.
It is as though she has no beak.
It is. You might say that. And I'm trying not to laugh. And Walnut says, she's changed.
The little wing is like over her own beak.
Yeah.
The beak is gone.
Yes. She is changed. And this time I don't know how to change her back. This might be it.
Is there any way I can be of assistance?
I truly hate genuinely hate to ask. But
Does she enjoy worms?
no, that's not what I was going to ask.
I
Ask,
know where they are.
ask
Juiciest.
Milan.
Spring worm daughter.
Or don't ask Milan. That's fine too.
Oh, you would seek the Grove Keeper's help in your romantic campaign.
It's not romantic. This is purely.
You think that she can reveal the beak?
I think she may, in all her time, have heard of a way to, yes, reveal the beak.
Nice.
I see.
My way.
My word.
That might be the first time Jerry really got Chris bad. Was it the worms that did it for you?
It's just like everything is a hammer. Everything's a nail. That's all I got. I solve problems with worms. What else you need? Nest. Fit. That's all I got.
Well,
So I say, ask Milan, but don't tell the other one.
oh, fear not. Fear not. I have 5 secrets from that one.
You are a bird among birds.
Yeah, little curtsy,
Great.
and this plump bird is out.
Love it. I shut my window. I lock it. I draw the curtain.
I pound boards over it. I set the place on fire.
I don't normally
Call
sleep.
Onyx.
Yeah, I call Onyx.
Oh, dude, Onyx would deal with this problem fucking fast.
I don't normally go into the bed. I normally just like trance on the
Yeah,
floor or
exactly.
something like that. But I go face first into the bed and then put all the pillows on the top of the back of my head just in case they come back. And then I sleep a dead sleep.
Nice. Camera-wise,
Oh, yeah.
not necessary.
Take us to a new place is what I'm saying.
Camera-wise, underneath this pile, as you enter into that reverie state, we are looking from behind Brahma out on the slanted roof of the Drawn and Courtier, just outside the room. And then as the camera pulls around, we can see the mask reveal itself around the front. And Penitent is trying to play the war lute and is unable to.
Unable to, or she sucks?
She sucks. I mean, basically, she's
Oh, man.
constantly
Okay.
restarting
She's trying.
the same little part.
Okay.
Indeed. Hey,
That got you.
so in the when the morning rolls around, there is a loud commotion in the common room of the Drawn and Courtier. Things have gotten to an early start here. There's voices you don't recognize, and given that Prafa already kicked out paying customers, you doubt that they're locals.
Let's go, gang.
Are we all up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we stumble downstairs in like a big, like that, Into the Spider-Verse, like, group.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Cloud.
Yeah, a cloud of us.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
All of us.
Okay, I'm so glad. I actually have a cauldron tip, so I can do something that I wasn't going to do otherwise. So,
Great.
you see lots. There is plenty of people that you don't recognize, but their tools of station, mode of dress. These are definitely your co-workers in Acquisitions Incorporated.
Acq Inc. convention.
But it's essentially a convocation that's being formed here in the living room, essentially.
Okay.
It's people from all over. Like I say, people heaped in furs, trying to find a place for them because they've entered a climate that they're not appropriate for. People eyeing said furs to accommodate their own more equatorial garb.
Okay. Wow.
So it's
I'm
it's
very
on.
impressed.
No, it's definitely happening, and they're all speaking, gesturing at each other, going over their tools, running different types of tests. The hordes person bag that they have is very, the skin of it is sort of thin and cracked. It's stretching in the wrong places, no longer supple.
Oh no.
It's a huge problem.
Have they oiled it?
Yeah. But it is still distinct from your own, which has only grown more clear overnight. And it's clear in such a way that you can begin to see that within it, a number of small orbs or dark bubbles have begun to form inside of it. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Yeah, I
You
will.
can use it to get inside concerts now.
Nice. Okay, that's not bad. Yep. You can enjoy a 17. Nope, sorry, 18.
You think this might be a larval form of the astral creature.
Huh.
What? So strange. Do
Some-
I think it's a single one? Or
Yeah, well, so it's some point in a life cycle. The rest of them appear to have died. It's almost like, imagine like a cluster of grapes or something.
Yeah.
The rest of them have died, and its destiny has been implanted here.
I show the rest of this group. I don't know what they know of it. I don't know about these other team members yet.
Yeah.
They're not from this district, so
They aren't, but there are plenty of them, and they are giving certainty drawn advice, and she is tired of it.
yeah.
She's just waving them away.
She knows who all these people are, I assume.
She does. Well, yeah. As the head secretarian,
Yeah.
she sort of has her thumb in a lot of pies.
I would ask her, who are all these people? If she seems to know who they are. What the hell is this?
She
You're just like, get out!
Yeah, what the hell are these people doing in my house?
she starts pointing at different ones.
Say, what the hell are all these weirdos doing in my house? Don't point, it's rude.
She pushes away from the scroll case. Says, no. And then she walks over to you, sort of shoulder to shoulder, and then she goes through and starts identifying people. And so the two that she calls out specifically. There's others, but they don't get the full treatment.
Names.
They don't
No.
get names.
Backstories.
I can tell.
No, I have a few.
All right.
But I don't
let's
have
them all.
I don't have as
Go down
many
the
as I
list.
have in here. So Gulam Phrazian
Yum.
from Team L is from Icewind Dale.
That explains the garb.
Indeed. And Hela Tarnus is from Team K, which apparently exists something like Team N. It's a naval headquarters that they travel up and down the Sword Coast. But essentially, they're comparing different tools that they have brought from their respective teams. But these are all secretarians, and so they are just thick as thieves.
Okay.
Essentially, like it's like did you ever have the experience where you like knew people like on a local BBS, like a bulletin board system, like a computer users group,
Yeah.
magic group, like from a
Message board?
message board, or communication, like
Ham radio.
No, not ham radio,
It was
but
a weird time.
like
Exactly like ham radio.
It's
like you go to the
good for ham radio?
yes, you go to the magic tournament, and it's like these are the people you know from your local store.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like they're friends that talk all the time, but rarely see each other.
These are all internet friends.
They're all internet friends basically, and they all have.
Hey,
they all
I
have.
still have
cute.
friends that I made playing Halo 2.
Yeah, they all have,
judge.
but they all have a tool you haven't seen yet. Which is, and you see certainty reach in to that pouch that you saw before, but when she withdraws it, it's like a opal or a shining stone inside of a ring or clasp. And when they meet each other, they tap them.
Do they all look the same?
No. They're all slightly different. Different metals, different stones. But they tap them together for some reason. You don't know why. If it's cultural or if it's mechanical. And Certainty says that they're not connected to the astral plane. These devices don't fail when the other tools do.
I'd say that's all great. Love it. But why are they here?
She says because we're trying to find the way through this. We're trying to find the right plan. We're trying to put together a team, a force.
Why wasn't this done in Waterdeep, where maybe we could check on that situation?
We don't know. She says we don't know how compromised that place is, and she says also we're waiting for someone. Josh, if you'd be so kind. You hear a cranking wind and a ping, like a watch that's been overwound. And in a moment, a person is in the foyer who was not there previously. He has Acquisitions Incorporated livery, but you can't place some of the materials. And he has a kerchief and other aspects, other fashion choices that you think might be considered outre, generally speaking. And he says, one question. And Certainty says, is this how Acquisitions Incorporated is destroyed? He pulls out a pocket watch, winds it, looks at it intently for a few moments, puts it away, and says no. You hear that loud ping from the spring again, and then it winds backwards, and he's gone. Thank you so much, Josh. Gathered Throng. The C team.
I like that guy.
It's a super fun game. I'm really, really glad that you came to spend some time with us. We're moving into Table Talk very soon. Our sponsor, Level Up, who you might have seen at the PAX shows or other conventions, they sponsor the show, and they give us all the stuff that you see in these trays. And they will be here with us during Table Talk, and because no 20s were rolled, we'll be doing all of our giveaways then during the last part of the show. Don't go nowhere. We're right back.